This is Conversations with Mike Sparks.
Are you concerned with the state of America, your state, your community? Then you're in the right place. State Representative Mike Sparks. He and guests are here to talk about local politics, history, faith, and freedom.
All right, you listen to Conversation with Mike Sparks. I'm your host, Mike Sparks. Connor, how you doing?
Doing good.
That's cool.
That's great.
It's great. He's graduated, 5 years ago?
Longest running joke we've got.
Jeremy, thanks for the coffee.
Yeah,
appreciate it. Appreciate that.
The sugar with coffee
It's
in
got
it.
a lot of sugar in it. I've been trying to cut back the sugar.
I didn't think I went overboard.
My blood pressure been kind of high. Doctor asked me if I'm dealing with any hypertension. I said, brother, my whole life's hypertension. So trying to get it down. Trying to cut out salt and stuff like that. When you get a little older,
need to.
you know, you got to think
How
about
old are you
those
talking
things.
about?
I just turned 59, you know. I don't feel a day over 50.
I don't feel a day over 71 because
71.
I'm not quite 71.
Yep.
A couple months I'll
Yep.
be 71.
I heard your commercial.
Oh, what did you think?
Sound
Mike?
kind of sexy to me. It's like that.
Hey, I liked it.
I'm
I
gonna
liked
slide
it.
away from you here about
Like that
half
voice
of
you
it,
heard.
Mike.
Like that voice you heard at Sam Davis' home. That woman's voice calling Roger, Roger. You know?
Oh yeah,
That's a true story, ain't it?
it's a true story. Yeah,
That is wild.
yeah, yeah.
I've never had anything like that happen.
Well, you're going to. Even if it's going to be fake or
not.
not, I'm going to get you in there.
Nah.
And something's going to happen.
Yeah. We had our grandbabies last night.
Oh yeah, I had mine too for the last 2 days, and
It was potty time for us.
oh yeah,
Instead of party time, it's potty time.
yeah. I see where you put
Potty
that.
all the time, potty all the time.
It was a gummy bear pizza party for us last night till 1:30 in the morning.
Oh,
really?
man.
We put them to bed early.
No, you don't. Well,
She
you-
got up. She had a little nightmare. She got up about 5 in the morning. No, about 4, coming in there crying.
Oh,
You know, had bad dreams.
Are you playing any games yet with her, like the physical games, like Bluey on television? You know,
Well, we've got some little. I'm trying to do math games and writing games.
Well, this
with
one
her.
you have to join in, and I guess it's to run the kid, tire
I just
them
don't want
out.
to play on the floor. It's
Well-
hard to get back up.
Well, you'll
You know
see. You got
um,
it. It's coming.
Before we get into, we got our next guest coming here in just a few minutes. Judge Brittany Stevens and her brother Representative Robert Stevens, and Nashville artist, Smyrna artist, I could say, Adam Sane, who did the artwork. So I'm excited about them. But speaking of being excited about art and history, you've got an event you're putting together about history.
the old Jefferson tour is coming up February 28th, Saturday, February 28th.
Yeah, and if folks, you know, a lot of folks, man, may not know about Old Jefferson. Tell them about why it's
Well, it
important.
was the capital from 1804 to 1811. You know, a county seat, not the capital, the county seat of Rutherford County.
Yeah,
And also, you know, up to about, 1966, I guess, people had to move out of there. Percy Priest Dam
Yeah.
came in, and it did away with the little town. But it didn't do. That's how we got displaced. It didn't
Yep.
do away with the town. It's still there.
yeah.
And like I said, and hopefully, we've been talking about it with different people. We can get something going on
Yeah.
back there with
Yeah.
it. But it's
Well-
going to be with Toby Francis. You know, he's 88 now, and he's had a hip surgery, so he's still spry. You know, he
Yeah.
still can move around.
So what time? 10 o'clock?
10
February
o'clock,
28th?
and if Marty's feeling like it, Marty Luffen's going to be talking about the Trail of Tears at 9:30, where we meet. He's not going to make the tour back there, because he knows it, things going on. But he if he's feeling
You think
okay,
he'd loan us his golf cart?
oh we don't need it. We got side by sides. Tony and them's
do?
got it. Yeah, a golf cart wouldn't go through some of that crap back there. You
No.
remember when
Don't
you
think
was
so.
riding around and trailblazing?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Mike was lost back
We got
there.
lost.
Yeah, we got lost.
It's easy to get lost out there, though. But it's a beautiful area. And why this matters is because a lot of these folks are getting older, like Toby. They've slowly passed away. And, on the radio, we've heard Mr. Charles Jones, a wealthy philanthropist, has said he put up $2 million.
Mm-hmm.
He's 95, but sadly he broke his hip when he was over.
He was going to be a speaker
with
for
you.
the chili cook-off this year.
Yeah,
and the
he
night
sadly
before he
fell.
broke his hip.
But
But
the
Mike,
guy's the real deal.
but where people meet at actually for this tour, you could pull in East Fork Recreation on your GPS.
which is out Bell Buckle Road.
Central Valley Road.
Central
If you
Valley.
follow Central Valley Road you will run straight into. You ain't even got to turn into the boat ramp. You'll see it. The cars down there. If you come down Buckeye Bottom Road, as soon as you come into Central Valley Road, it's to your left, and we'll have that utility gate open. I've talked to the
Roger
Goodson, the water department.
Good
He's
guy.
going to have it pulled up at 8:30
Yep.
for parking. And we had 100 people 2 years ago.
Well, if you come from Smyrna, turn at Big Charlie's Bake
Yeah,
Shop.
yeah.
Trade
Go over
Post
Nice
Auto
Mill
Sales.
Bridge,
What's the name of that road?
Buckeye Bottom.
No, at Big Charlie's Bake Shop.
Oh, that one. I don't know if is that Swamp Road. What is that?
That's.
I don't even know. I lived out there all my life. I wasn't paper boy out there, so I wouldn't know.
It's sad. We just know Trading Post and Big Charlie's Bake
Here,
Shop.
Anybody that's so beer.
I'll
I
look
shouldn't
at-
say that.
I'll look it up. I'll look it up.
But anyway, once you turn left by Big Charlie's and you follow on around and Nice's Mill, everybody knows where that
Nice
is.
Mill.
You go over the bridge, your
Longhorn.
first left. You take
First
your
left.
first left, follow that road
Which is
all the way
Buckeye
to the
Bottom.
end, all the way to the end. And as soon as you come to the end, you see us to the left. We're down there parking.
Yep. Well, we have.
I'll
the
have signs up also.
I meet with TDEC Commissioner. Salyers this week. I believe it's Tuesday, and then we
Oh, I
have
know him.
Assistant Commissioner Robert Beckler in.
Yeah, he was at your chili
got to
cook-off,
listen in.
and he got to see the talk that Toby did about Old Jefferson, and he got to see Marty's. He got to hear Marty's Trail of Tears. So it's a lot of history out there, man.
Well, the pitch is, the state's looking to expand state parks. I mean, I know it's a long shot to try to get that to be a state park or some type of park, but like I've told them, where else are you going to find a story of the Trail of Tears,
Yeah.
county seat, the first black
Black lawmaker.
lawmaker? See, a lot of people don't know that he came from out there.
Oh yeah, Samson Keeble.
Samson Keeble. And I just think, especially with Mr. Jones being 95, he grew up out there, But
Yeah.
it's a sad story where they took a lot of those folks' property and they didn't need it.
Yeah, that's what this place does, and also that as a big plantation out there in the day, the Creech plant. That was my great grandparents.
Creech.
It looked just like the Sam Davis home.
Yeah.
The same. Oh, what do they call it? Greek Revival home.
Yep.
Same build. They built a lot of them like that back in.
Well, it's exciting, but I used to hear the story. Sally Walls used to tell us the story, and I was always told it was a city underwater. Growing up, we were always told it's a city underwater.
Well, that's the name, but how did it look to you? Did it look like it's underwater when you got out there?
underwater. No,
All it
not
was
that
is-
area.
Tore up roads and blown out bridges so you couldn't get in there.
Well,
It was a
how
big
high
waste.
is the elevation of the river now compared to?
Well, the winter
Percy
pool,
Priest
I think,
Dam?
is about 383 foot, and the summer pool, I think, is about 414 foot. And that's one reason we do it in the wintertime, because there is a low spot there that a drainage pipe would actually cover,
Yeah.
But we do. That's why we do it in the wintertime. The water is low, no mosquitoes, and all the, no plants have grown up yet, so you can see everything. You can see the old foundations, you can see the buttercups coming up and all that kind of stuff. So it's really kind of
Now, is Alan Searcy, the author, is he going to come out?
No, he's working that weekend. He told me, but I did read his book, First Lady of Tennessee.
Yeah.
Sam Houston's wife. The wedding lasted, the marriage lasted 2 weeks.
Oh, did it?
Oh wow.
It's kind of cool. You have to read
I
it.
think my dad had some of those marriages. My dad was married 5 times. He was difficult.
He might have
man.
been. He might have been kin to Sam Houston.
He was difficult.
Look at the family tree and check it out.
I don't know what happened. Anyways, that's why I have to work hard on my marriage. Do you remember Valentine's Day yesterday?
Yeah. Yeah, my grandbabies. I got my grandbabies. I think you did too. I got my grandbabies each a rose, and I got them.
Good.
Not my great grandbaby because I don't see her, but I'll take care of her when I see her.
Yep.
But I say grandbaby, she's 7 years old. But
I was going through Walmart, and do you ever think this, like, how can I spoil my grandkids today? And I grabbed a bunch of some cookies, just Oreos, grabbed a bunch of them, and I put some cash in the
they're life
card.
changers. They change your life, don't they?
My little 1-year-old, he ripped the card apart, and the money was just laying there. I was like, "Come here, son, this is money. You need to invest this."
but Mike,
He's young.
We'll try to watch our money. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna get that. The grandbaby, okay.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
you don't
they're
even look. You don't
life-changing,
even look at
man.
the price tag.
Same.
When they're with you.
As an uncle too, that's me too. I like to spoil my nieces and nephews.
Next week we've got Jenny Williams and Commissioner
Rick Hall because of Old Jefferson, and
to promote that.
yeah, they're going to promote it. Rick knows it just about as well as anyone because he rides his horses back there all the time. He knows the area, and he did pass you.
You think he ever gets lost out there?
Well, he did see you pass 3 times.
Shit, third time's a charm. Marty knows that area good because he helped make him trails.
Yeah.
Believe it or not. I mean,
I used to walk down there.
Did you?
Yeah, that's what we'd walk to the store there. That's where I'm from. My
well,
mom
you
was
hung out
born
at
there.
East Fork Boat Ramp, didn't you?
Huh? No,
you hung
no,
out
no.
back in the day.
That was no. I was a West Fork guy. And I think you was the East Fork
West Fork.
parties.
Yeah, we can't talk about that on the radio. Get in trouble. But anyways, back some bad past.
Oh, Mike underage. Oh no, is your wife listening?
Nah, she don't listen. Okay. Hey, I want to share. You know, I told you one thing that I've kind of pitched this idea about a potential documentary about Smyrna and Tennessee coming together with the Japanese the other day. Tell me, I call these strange synchronicities, coincidences, and they're real. I mean, they're real. Most people wouldn't believe it, but I called again. Had lunch with Japanese Consulate General Watanabe here back in the summer. Then I called last week, and I was like, hey, I really want to talk to y'all about this. I've talked to Film Commissioner Bob Raines, talked to MT Issues, Tom Neff, and, Marsha Blackburn's on the radio 2 weeks ago, talked to her. So my assistant says, oh, by the way, you got dinner with the Japanese Consul General Monday night. I'm like, what? I said, they just put this? He said, no, man, it was already on the schedule. I was like, really? So he showed me the seating chart, and I was
where'd you go? Was it Crystal?
I was the only representative they invited.
Where'd you go? Crystal?
It was just strange. Well, Morton's.
What's that? That sounds out of my price range.
That sounds out of my tax bracket.
But I just thought that was weird. It was just, I call that confirmation. I got to talk to Haggerty, Senator Haggerty, about it. Oh, he speaks fluent Japanese.
Yeah, and speaking of Haggerty, his one of his field reps is with Brittany Montgomery.
Brittany,
but
sweet.
she is actually not a Montgomery. Did she just get married?
Yeah, she's engaged.
Okay, because
she moved to Alabama.
I talked to her, and I'm going to tell you a little story about her real quickly. She was out there, and she told me that, I think she's from Giles County in that area.
Yep.
Because that's where Sam got captured at Minor Hill, and she was telling me about the plaque there. I didn't even know about that.
Yeah.
There's a plaque that marks where he got captured.
She's sweet.
Yeah. I really like her.
But, I was telling Senator Haggerty, I don't think most people realize the economic impact Japan has to our state.
Oh, yeah.
We have 200 Japanese companies, and I've often thought, what would Smyrna be like if Nissan, Datsun would have never located here? Connor, let's take a quick break. We come back, we're going to have Judge Brittany Stevens and Representative Robert Stevens and local artist Adam Sane join us. We'll be right back.
Josh Moss with Affordable Heating and Cooling provides residential HVAC and duct cleaning services to the Middle Tennessee area. With more than 20 years of experience, Josh Moss and the AHC team provide 24/7 service and take care to ensure whatever work you need done is done in a professional, timely manner. Contact AHC at 615-745-1676. That's 615-745-1676. Or go to their website at affordableheatingandcoolingtn.com.
Most people know that their insurance can provide them with coverage for the many life's mishaps. But I can help you also unlock discounts, save money, and get benefits with Farmers Insurance policy perks. Whether we're discussing home or auto insurance, I am here to help you understand these great perks. Call me, Mark Lewis, at 615-625-7070 for a quote, and you can get a whole lot of something with Farmers policy perks.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Not available in every state. Only available at select Farmers branded policies underwritten by Farmers Truck or Fire Insurance Exchanges or affiliates.
Want a flawless look without the wait? Step into the Vanity Zone in Smyrna, where upscale style meets everyday convenience. Specializing in precision cuts, color services, waxing, and more for men, women, and kids. All delivered by highly trained stylists with an eye for detail. And don't miss the signature hot towel refresher, the perfect finishing touch that leaves you feeling clean, relaxed, and ready for anything. Walk in or book now the Vanity Zone in Smyrna. Looking your best is always in style.
Hello, I'm Roger, one of the tour guides at Sam Davis Home, 1399 Sam Davis Road in Smyrna. To learn more about Sam Davis, Smyrna's boyhood hero, we offer tours Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. No reservations required. To book a wedding, creek house rental, field trip, or any other event, contact Jenny Lamb, our director, at director@samdavishome.org. Visit our Facebook page or give us a call at 615-459-2341.
At Dr. Automotive in Smyrna, we're committed to providing local car owners with top-notch auto repair services. With over 2 decades of experience, our ASC certified master technicians are experts in both foreign and domestic vehicles, ensuring accurate diagnosis and timely, cost-effective repairs. From oil changes to major engine and transmission repairs, we've got the cure for your car. Dr. Automotive, keeping your car running smoothly, mile after mile. Visit our website, smyrnaautorepair.com.
My wife and I enjoy going by Yard Sale Inc. We usually go to both locations, the one in Smyrna as well as the one in Murfreesboro. A lot of times on Saturday mornings we stop by, and their inventory changes weekly, so you never know what you're going to see, and it's mostly open box. The name fits it. It's exactly that. It's a yard sale. If you don't totally agree with the price, the staff is always friendly and nice and willing to work with you.
That's the Yard Sale store in Smyrna at 111 Enon Springs Road West, in Murfreesboro at 204 South Front Street, and online at bestdealintown.com.
Hi, this is Allie Dowenhauer with Isaiah 117 House. Isaiah 117 House provides physical and emotional support for children awaiting foster care placement here in Rutherford County. We are changing the way foster care begins, and those kiddos are brought to our house to hang out and wait for a foster family, and they're given everything they need. We support foster children, DCS, and foster families here in Rutherford County. Visit us at www.isaiah117house.com or visit our Facebook page, Isaiah 117 House, Rutherford County.
AFFI is Middle Tennessee's premier choice for pest, wildlife, and moisture control. They specialize in those difficult and unique cases. You can reach them by phone at 615-300-2395. That's 615-300-2395. Or stop in at 200 Glenrose Lane in Smyrna.
Hey, I'm Floyd, and I'm inviting you to join me at CR. That's Celebrate Recovery. We meet at Family Worship Center, 3045 Memorial Boulevard on Sunday at 6 p.m. We're a 12-step Christ-centered program that offers help for all the hurts, habits, and hang-ups that's causing you pain. The program works if you work it, and I'm proof. For other CR groups, go to CelebrateRecovery.com and click on the group finder. Hope to see you soon.
Got a volume down there too.
All right, we're back. Conversation Mike Sparks, your host Mike Sparks. Excited to have guest Brittany Stevens, our local judge, and Adam Sane, local artist, and Robert Stevens, Representative Robert Stevens, going to join us here in a few. Brittany, how you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Doing
Thank
good.
you so much for having us, Representative Sparks. It's an honor to be here.
I didn't realize you've wrote how many books now?
6.
How do you have time to do all this kind of stuff?
I make time.
Do you? Wait till you have grandbabiys. Then you're going to have no time, you know. I had
my parents are too young for that right now.
Well, it is. You know, when looking back in life, and I thought, man, I'd have never thought I'd have grandbabies, you know. But, you know, you always hear the stories like, hey, look at my grandbabies. I understand why people do that. I mean, I can relate because, like, my wife stayed home with them with church. They seemed like they had a cold, so I went to church. I couldn't wait to get home, and then my son and his wife already picked him up. And I was like, dang gummit, wanted to see him before they left out. But they do change your life. And, you know, one of the books, speaking of my grandbaby, I happened to be over there at the Trellis and Vine. Roger had got me involved in that last year, I guess, probably over a year ago. Mm-hmm. And that's where I come across your book here, the Smyrna, Tennessee coloring book. And then I come across your artwork, Adam, the Train Depot. And I guess Teresa got a hold of you and you came over, and man, I just love this artwork. So I brought this back to my wife, and she liked it so much, she's the one coloring it because my grandbaby will mess it up. Look, but my wife's a pretty good colorer.
She is an amazing artist, and you know that's one of the beautiful things about the coloring book is it's for all ages.
Yes. Well, the good thing about it, she can save it for Grace and Henry.
But you also need to get Brittany to autograph it for you tonight. Before you take it. She does that.
I did come bearing gifts.
Good. We like gifts. We like free stuff. You know. Well, Adam, how long have you been an artist?
Well, I found that out very early when my dad made me stop holding the flashlight.
Really?
So yeah,
Okay.
I was not
Working on cars.
I was not going to be the mechanical person
Yeah.
of the family.
Yeah.
So he gave me my first camera when I was about 13, and it kind of just took off from there.
Was your dad very mechanically inclined?
Yes, he did a little bit of everything, and my brother totally picked up his gene, and I just fell far from the tree.
Everybody's different. You know, one thing I like what Ron talks about, because I had made the comment to him. It was years ago, and I said, I'm not real artsy fartsy, and I mean, I think Roger and me and folks probably our generation would say the same thing. And Ron shed some light. He said, no, man, everyone's an artist in their own realm in a sense, and whether it's the classic car guys or guys that restore cars or and it is artwork. What got you inspired for art in some of those areas?
Wow. Well, as far as from the book perspective, I totally agree with you 100%. I do feel like everyone has some type of creative capacity. It may not necessarily look, we all have different talents and gifts, certainly. But as far as for publishing books, so Smyrna Spotlights, I published that book in 2021. And that idea came to me right at the height of COVID. I hated seeing what was happening with so many of our locally owned small businesses, not just here in Smyrna, but on a global scale. Yeah. My brother Robert and I were both lifelong Smyrna residents. We were born and raised, and the community has been so wonderful to us, to our family, the community, our church. And I'm friends with a lot of these locally owned small business owners, and I hated seeing what's happening and just hearing so many of them during COVID just talk about, we don't know if we're going to be able to keep our businesses afloat. And what really got my attention was seeing on the very front page of the D&J where City Cafe was about to close. Yes. And I just thought, oh my goodness, we cannot let this happen here. I'm only one person. What can I possibly do? And so back then I just started posting on my personal Facebook page. I would go into these local businesses and just really try to spotlight them, share about my experience there, talk about the business, what they do, their backstory, and just, why I like them so much. And I posted several times, and that really seemed to take off. But then I posted about Tony's Shoe Repair. And Tony Rayena is a very dear friend of mine. He is, I think, 95 years young, and he is still a shoe cobbler. And we've gone to church together for many years. He's a phenomenal man. And I just went into his shoe establishment, and he fixed my shoes, and so we took some photos together, and I posted about it on Facebook, and that post really took off. It got hundreds of likes, comments, and shares, and people went wild over it. And next thing I know, the D&J is contacting me, asking me if they could run a story on that post. And I said, absolutely, anything we can do to spotlight, of course, Tony's business, but any of these businesses, really just to educate and inspire people to support local as much as possible. And so after that, just seeing how much positive feedback that post generated, I thought, how cool would it be to create a book out of this? Because, it is social media, it's very ephemeral, it's here today, gone tomorrow. And so that's exactly what we did. And so I decided to spotlight about 47 locally owned small businesses. And I really wanted to have a very diverse and eclectic mix of businesses. So I wanted, restaurants, professional services, so attorneys, insurance agents, all kinds of different, essentially a business in each industry or vertical that you could possibly think of, just to show that we have so much to offer here in Smyrna, and you really don't have to leave. We have so many talented people here. And so the community really jumped on board with that, and we have, I also wanted to have businesses that were newer, but then also some of our more established businesses. So, of course, our very dear friend Marty Luffman, who's been with State Farm for over 50 years, he's a community fixture here in Smyrna, but then also, Rayburn Insurance, they're one of our longest standing businesses. So it was a really fun project to do, and it's for as far as all the business owners, really it's our book, and I think we should all be very proud of this book that we put out together, because this would not have been possible without the buy-in from our business owners.
Baker Rayburn.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Baker's a great guy. Almost got killed in his Volkswagen.
Oh yeah.
I've told that story. I think I was 15. He was 16. I was, hey man, let me use your car, and went out to Fate Sanders to jump off the bridge, and he didn't tell me it didn't have brakes.
Oh, no.
And almost crashed it in front of Gillsville. And anyways, we laugh about it. But Baker, I'm gonna tell you, man, what a great person.
Absolutely.
Got a heart
And you know,
going.
something else that's really fascinating about the book is that a lot of the business owners submitted photos. So in some ways, it's very educational, inspirational, but also it's historical in a way because we are preserving their stories. And what's really amazing about this book is that each of the business owners several questions. They'd share things like their backstory, of course, information about their businesses, some of their biggest challenges, their proudest moments, but then also what does it mean to support local and why is supporting local so important? Because it's one thing for me to say that, but to hear from some of these business owners who have been through so much, it's a very powerful book. And I love that it's in their own words. So it's very, very, it just adds to that authenticity factor.
You think, like, whether it's Jenny Williams' father, Gil Overrood, having the vision to build that shopping center back in the day at the old Gillsville at the by the gas station.
Yes.
I remember that when I was a kid. And then you think of Marty having the vision to build his building over there. I think there was the gas station over there, and then
I
Nissan
think David
come
Young
along.
had that big house there where the
Young's
bank
home.
sit there a little later on.
Yeah, where Crystal's is.
Yeah.
And I think Marty, if I'm not mistaken, that was probably the first building over, like I said, in the gas station.
I probably knew Marty. I owned a printing business back in the day, 70s to 80s, and I had to deal with a lot of graphic artists and all. But y'all remember the old State Farm calendars where they had the little calendar, desk counter had their picture?
Yes.
That's stuff I would do.
Nice.
And anyway, so I've probably seen him a million times if he actually bought those, and but anyway, I said I probably know this guy, right? But as far as the coloring book goes, that means a lot to me. I'm the vice chair of the Historical Zoning Commission down there, and so a lot of these buildings, I feel like I've got a finger on that business, taking care of it. But we do sell this coloring book at the Sam Davis Home gift shop. And our little coworker here actually seen it the other day. He was at the chili cook-off. And he said, I seen that book. I said, why'd you buy it, buddy? But
buy two.
but the graphic, the graphic arts and all this in here, man, I used to have to farm it out in my business. I couldn't afford them, but I did have typesetters and all that. I had to send it out. But this is really cool. Like I said, when I went to the tree lighting, my daughter-in-law was there, and she saw the little. She said, "Man, this looks like Norman Rockwell picture, just a little downtown itself." She said, "It was just really, really, really cool." And then this book, depicts all those places down there. It's really, really cool.
Now, how'd y'all get connected?
Okay, do you want me to tell the story?
Well, I'll start. And you can fill it out.
It's a good story.
So I had some art at Carpe Cafe.
Yeah.
And Brittany reached out and basically said, I need someone local to illustrate a coloring book for me. I said, well, I'm really not an illustrator. And she's like, well, you are. I've seen your art, and I need someone local to do this project. So I was like, well, if we can do pen and ink, we can roll with this project. Well, after about 2 months of pen and ink drafts, it was born. So I don't know if you want to fill in the...
Oh, no, that was perfect. Just the fact that I had been a fan of Adam's work by going to Carpe Cafe. Of course, they're no longer Carpe Cafe, but I used to go in there all the time for coffee, and Adam always had beautiful artwork on the walls. And I knew that I wanted him to be an illustrator for this new idea to publish a coloring book. And I'd never met Adam before, and so he agreed to meet me at Carpe Cafe, and I pitched this idea to him, hoping that I could convince him to do it. And yeah, you told me, well, I've never done a coloring book before, and I said, neither have I. Let's do it and figure it out. If we can send a man to the moon, I think we can figure this out. And so that's what we did, and we had so much fun working on it that we got it done in several months.
And what truly sold me on it was, we're just sitting there talking about this project, and, I had to say yes because she was so organized.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, she had everything.
She's one of them, huh?
She had everything from, these are the landmarks. This is the historical part. This is from A to Z. And I'm thinking, okay, Sam Davis home, the Parkway. And I was like, I can do this project. I said, let's meet back next week and
Yeah.
I'll have you some drafts.
Yeah. Who do you take after, your mom or your dad, or both?
I would say both.
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 Yeah. So they're highly organized. Both of them, I'd say.
Well, they're both listening, so absolutely.
Yeah, I know they are. Well, I know Robert is. We always
Yes.
get Robert to do our letters, anything
Yes.
we got going on.
Yes.
We just source it out to Robert, and he gets it done. What did we send a letter to the other day? Oh, it was T-Dot, or I forgot what it was. There's so much that's been happening, but I appreciate him because we all have our unique gifts and
Yes.
and talents. There's no doubt, Speaking of talent, when did you start try to monetize your artwork?
It was, I guess, with the Smyrna Coloring Book because it had a great reach just with the community, and then we started doing some coffee mugs, and you can find those at the Trellis and Vine Art Gallery.
Yes,
and along with the coloring books, and so the cover was it was the last thing that I created for the coloring book, and it turned out wonderful. And the next piece that I created, I felt that the depot needed to be the sunrise is right behind, right over the depot, and so I did a illustration watercolor for that. And
so you got a shot, an actual photo, and then went back and did your illustration.
Yes, I usually work from a photo. I didn't get up that early to capture the sunrise,
yes.
But just knowing the lighting.
I had there was a guy that I was friends with years ago when I first got elected, and I don't even know how me and this guy come across each other, and I guess we both had a love for history. And he invited me to this event down there at the arcade, and he says, "Hey, come on out." He says, and he says, "There's a bunch of liberals out here, but I think you'll be okay. I think you'll get along with everybody." And I went out, and I mean, it was just, I've learned, though, if you can put yourself in areas you're not comfortable with, that's kind of when you start to learn.
That's how you grow.
It's like brainstorming, like little brainstorming. And so I thought, I'll make the best of this. And the arcade's beautiful. And it was a little art gallery up there at the arcade. And it was a young lady got up. In fact, her father, I kind of knew her father. He was from Eagleville. And he was in Sons of Confederate Veterans, and she gets up and starts to do the spoken word, poetry, spoken word, and she starts doing this about sunsets. She started journaling every morning. Or sunrises. She journaled to sunrise. At first, I'm thinking, oh man, what is this about? I'm sitting there, but then I started listening to her story, and then I became captivated. And what I thought to myself, Brittany, I said, I've never in my life taken the time to watch a sunrise. Never in my life. And I thought, isn't that a shame? But she journaled like 248. Every morning she journaled. She would say, this is what's going on in my life and this is what's happening. And I thought, man, how sweet. And I started thinking, man, you could use this for mental health, almost like to wind down and to calm down. Exactly. And I remember, I lost my sister 2 years ago, Vicky. And I remember we drove out to Wyoming. I bought an old vintage camper, like artwork. I mean, this thing was a one owner bought it from this guy, and it was like a really speculating buying this thing. Drove all the way out there, 3,500 miles round trip, and in the rearview mirror, I could see the sunrise down that highway. I don't know if y'all ever drove out like on that Nebraska and Wyoming. It's a beautiful drive, and I remember just watching that sunrise. But it was really a surreal moment. So I catch myself in the mornings, drink my coffee, looking over and thinking of that sunrise, in that story, spoken word, You're watching sunrises?
That's an interesting question because that's actually when I do most of my book writing is in the morning.
Really?
So yes. I'm an early riser. That's how I'm able to do all my book work that way.
Early riser, like what time?
I usually set my
9?
4:30.
Are you serious? 4:30?
Yes. That is prime.
You get up at 4:30?
Yes.
Golly. What time do you go to bed?
I try to be in bed by 9 or 10.
And you get up at 4:30.
That's when I set my alarm. But usually by 5. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I've talked to a lot of folks. Jerry Section, former state rep, him and I, successful business owner. He got up at 4:30. He said, "Man, that's when I get most of my work done because there's no interruptions
yes.
at all. At all." Well, I think we've got. Speaking of interruptions, I think we've got a caller. Caller, go ahead.
An interruption? I don't think so.
How you doing, man?
That voice sounds familiar.
Well, you're in this book,
Yeah, and I was flattered. I was honored. I knew she was writing it and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she told me she was interviewing me, I guess, and that's when I realized that's going to be in her book. And yeah, I was like overwhelmed. It was awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, that was tickled the steer out of me.
Well, what year did you build your build, Marty? Was it 83?
83.
83. And was it Sam Ridley or Paul Johns that gave you that idea?
One of these days, Mike.
Anyway, who inspired you to build your building? Who
Actually,
gave you the vision?
nobody did. I was, I think I've told you the story before. Mr. McClary down the road on Lima Springs at the big house.
Yep.
He called me up on a Wednesday night. I just got home from church. And he called me up and he said, "Guess who just left my house?" I said, "I don't know."
Now, be nice. We're on the radio now. Got to be careful what we say.
I'm not going to use words like you do.
All right. So, anyways, he called you and told
There's
you.
not going to be any words like butt hurt. And stuff
All right,
like
that's
that.
right. Anyway, but he told you Nissan came in, right?
He said, "The governor and a bunch of Japanese just left my house." I said, "What's going on?" And he said, "Nissan is coming to Smyrna, and they bought my farm."
Isn't that wild?
Well, right then it hit me. I need to build a building over there. I need to be close. And it worked out perfect for me. I mean, it worked out real good because I met some very influential people over there, what I call centers of influence. I met them, and they really helped my business.
You met Mark. You met Mike there too, did you?
Yeah, that's where we met.
You wasn't?
That's where you met Mike Sparks, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know the story, Brittany. He run me off from his insurance company.
Yes.
He was rude. I vowed I was gonna get him one. I was getting him back, and I had the chance. Man, I was locked and loaded. He come by my car business, and man, I was fixing to pull the trigger. I was fixing to tell him where to go, and don't let the door hit you in the butt on the way out. I was fixing to, and then I thought, what would my mom want me to do? What would Jesus do? So I quickly forgave him. No, I was going to get him. But I tell you, it was his loss because I went over at Rayburn Insurance. I think Baker or Dub insured me back in the day. But I had that hot rod 68 Camaro. I wish I had that car back.
No, you know what? God said, "Don't do nothing, make money off of it." And Mike has from that day forward.
Yeah, I think we sold you had a blue Chevy Dually, diesel Dually or something.
A black. It was a custom-made Dually from a horse trailer.
Yep, that's back when you were riding a whole lot.
Uh-huh.
Riding those trails at Old Jefferson.
I did. I rode a lot of trails at Old Jefferson. Sure did.
Well, I'm on,
And
I'm
I
on
will
your
tell
page
you
now.
this, what I know from the Corps of Engineers working with them. The reason the land never flooded is because they didn't take into account all the caves that was over there. And when the water got up, it just went into the caves.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the caves actually came out almost to Hobson Pike on Murfreesboro Road.
No, there's a lot of cavernous areas in this county.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt. You know.
Well, let's talk about Brittany and her book. I want to
Yeah.
talk about that.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, quit changing the subject.
All right. We're looking at your page right now.
Quit trying to remember how butthurt you were.
All right, go ahead.
Anyhow, I do know this. I was so excited for Brittany that I helped her with when she had her book signing and opening. Brittany, I think we rented the train depot. Is that correct?
Yes, we had it at the train depot.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And one of them I remember especially because I had been hurt and I was in a wheelchair and it was my birthday. And Brittany surprised me with a birthday cake at the train depot.
Awesome.
And I was real happy. I was real proud of that. It was a very emotional moment. But we did some stuff together where to promote her book, and it was very, very successful, especially the one with me in it.
Yeah, so we had a book launch party for for both books. But for the Smyrna Spotlights party, we had it at the Smyrna Train Depot, and so essentially it was for all the business owners that participated in the book. And it was just amazing to see the camaraderie of everybody, because a lot of folks, they'd never met each other before. And people were really excited to be there. And it was just so fascinating to sit back and watch and see these business owners that had never met one another before. They would go up to each other and snap selfies and get each other to sign their books where their particular page was. So it kind of seemed like signing your books, back when you were in high school. And so that was really fascinating, just to sit back and watch people that had never met just become friends through that experience, through the understanding of what it takes to be a small business owner post-COVID.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had, and so it was so wonderful too, because so many people that participated in this project, they were so wonderful when it came to the book launch party. Joe West made a beautiful cake, and then you had Barbara Potter of Barbara Potter Photography. She brought in this really cool, almost like a photo booth type situation with the book cover, and it was just a really lovely evening. And so we're all very proud, and it was just a really fun way to celebrate everybody for sharing their stories.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful evening. Well, actually, both of them were, the comic book and the Smyrna business people. Yeah, you had two really, really successful openings.
Marty, I didn't realize you wrote 6 books now.
Yes.
6. I didn't realize that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was fixing to tell you that. She's got 4 new law books that just came out, and I bought all 4 of them. I'm not an attorney. I never will need to be an attorney. I got an attorney, okay? But
yeah.
Yes, so
I'm going to tell you, I read them, and they were really interesting, what it takes.
Is that kind of what it is, like one of those, a book to kind of lead you, guide you if you want to go that direction?
Yes. So essentially, the reasoning why I wrote these books. So I teach 2 pre-law classes at Lipscomb, and I have students asking me all the time, I want to go to law school. Can you give me some advice? But just to backtrack, back when I was going through law school, I always saw myself doing several things with my law degree and being very multidimensional. And back then, social media wasn't what it is now, and I was constantly scouring the internet for examples of multidimensional women that were attorneys that had law degrees, but that were using them in very multidimensional ways. And so I told myself, once I get through law school, I'm going to write essentially the guidebook that I wish I had whenever I was going through the process.
Yeah.
I'm also a very right-brain, intuitive thinker, and so much of the law school, the legal world is very much, super left brain. And so I certainly took that into consideration too. But so it's essentially what started off as 1 book quickly turned into 4 books. I really wanted these books to be very, quick, easy reads, very digestible, because people that are, aspiring attorneys, they already have a lot to read, a lot to do. But so I broke it down into 4 parts, 4 stages. So the first book is called So You Think You Want to Go to Law School, What You Need to Know to Make Your Decision with Confidence. And that's for people that are pre-law, that are thinking, or even career pivoters, if they're thinking about, do I want to go to law school? And then book 2 in the collection is So You Want to Go to Law School, Your Step-by-Step Roadmap from Desire to Acceptance. That's going to talk about the application process, LSATs, financial, all the things in that particular stage. And then the third book is Now You're in Law School, What to Expect and How to Make the Most of It. So that's going to really talk about time management, exam mastery, 1L, 2L, 3L, what to expect when you're in law school. And then the 4th book is called Congrats, You're a Law School Grad, Pass the Bar and Excel in Your Legal Career. And so that one, of course, talks about, the end of the law school journey, but also bar exam, and your first time at a new firm, or your first time in court, things like that. But then there are also themes throughout all 4 books, things like mentorship, reputation, identity, things like that. It's just depending on what stage you're in, that's going to look different throughout the process. So it was a lot of fun doing that, and
very good.
Oh, that's cool, though. My former assistant Marvin's in law school now.
Yeah.
Nashville School of Law just gave him a nice write-up. So proud of that young man. He come into the community, young African-American, knocked on 4,000 doors at Smyrna, treated him so good. But every time I call him, man, he's studying.
Yes.
Or he's in class.
Yes.
And he's so devoted on just law school. So proud of him. He's already turned down a pretty good sized job.
Wow.
But working for Office of the Courts keeps him busy.
Yes.
Marty, any final words? We're fixing to segue over to Representative Stevens. You had any final words?
No, not for Brittany, but I was going to tell you too. While since Robert's coming on, it came up in my memories that it was on this day, I don't know what, 2 or 3 years ago, that Robert qualified to run for state representative. It's been about, how many years has it been, Robert?
Well, 4 since the redistricting.
Okay, well, it was 4 years. The 4-year anniversary, I think, this week.
All right.
But anyhow, I'm real proud of Brittany, and I'm real honored to know Roger and Robert, and sometimes Mike Sparks.
Every now and then. Well, looking forward to you coming out and speaking about the Old Jefferson Trail of Tears and along the trails that, believe it or not, you helped build, you and Judge Ben Hall McFarland.
Yeah, and that was really a tremendous experience. But yeah, I'm looking forward to talking about the Trail of Tears. All right, y'all have a good evening.
We'll
good
see
night.
you.
Good
All
night.
right, we'll see you. Robert, how you doing?
Well, I'm doing just great. Thanks for having me on tonight, too.
I didn't realize Sister knocked out 6 books so far, and I should have if I'd known, I'd have got that from Marvin for law school. I'm so proud of him, man. He's out of Memphis, and he texted me asking for advice. I said, I guess you moved back to Memphis. He's no, I don't want to go to Memphis. I want to stay here in Middle Tennessee, and then he ended up getting hired and just doing great. But I guess law school is pretty tough, isn't it?
It's very tough.
That's what he's saying,
But he's smart, so he'll do well.
Yeah, he is. He is doing good. How's it going?
Well, I'm doing great and just ready for you to ask me some questions.
They are. Well, one thing I want to thank you for is trying to be involved in this new $400 million investment we've got coming to Smyrna at Old Seward Air Force Base. And I know you got to have some meetings with Evan Lester, the airport director, and Marcia Blackburn, and even Haggerty because we're going to need some more federal funding to make all this possible.
We are. So our air traffic control tower at the Smyrna Rutherford County Airport is 73 years old, which is hard to imagine.
Yes.
And if you go out there and look at it, it's not in the best shape. But with the state moving the National Guard operations from the Nashville Airport down to Smyrna Airport, there's going to be a lot more traffic, and we want to be sure that we have the best technology and the best control tower that there is. You probably remember a year or so ago there was a crash in Washington with a plane and a helicopter.
Yes.
And so I want to be very proactive and be sure that we have the best here for us when we have all these extra operations coming in. But plus it's 7 flights of steps. It's hard enough for the airport to hire air traffic controllers as it is. And then you tell them if you want to take this position, you have to walk up and down 7 flights of steps every day. That's really going to limit the pool of people that can do that job. So, but we do need to ask the federal government to help us pay for it, and then whatever the difference is, the state and the local people will have to try to come up with the rest of it next year. So hopefully Congress comes through for us and gets us an appropriation that'll help us fund that tower.
Yes. How's session come along so far for you?
Well, I think it's going very well for me. I'm trying to fix some issues that have been brought to me by constituents, and then just looking forward to all the bills that are coming that everybody else is bringing too. We had about 1,500 bills filed, I think,
yes.
and
it's a whirlwind.
1,400, and it's a bunch coming at you really fast, and you have to become an expert in a lot of areas. Really fast.
It's a whirlwind. Well, I know I've heard folks talk about you've got a bill helping families with disabilities.
I do. A local nonprofit here had a service that they were providing, and a nurse retired or left, and somehow or another they didn't have enough staff to student ratio, and they had to close that part of their program down.
Yes.
And so some of the families were upset about that and reached out to me to see if there's anything the state could do to help provide this program, and there wasn't at the time. However, states like Florida and Texas and Ohio have a similar program to what they're asking for, and I had Legal Services draft up a proposal for us, and the program is called Prescribed Pediatric Extended Care, and it would allow TennCare to pay for day services for people with disabilities who have the most severe disabilities like trachs and paralysis and so forth, and these students would be able to go to a center where they can receive education and also interact with other peers instead of staying at home all day, which is what a lot of them do now. And then, of course, a parent has to be home with them all day too, which means a parent can't go to work. So these other states that have this program through their Medicaid systems allow the parents to work, and then the kids get to go to a place where they're able to learn and interact with other students as well. But it's a very expensive program, so we're working now on how to reduce the cost and find ways to make it work.
We've got a great commissioner with Commissioner Brad Turner.
Big Commissioner
who
Brad
you serve
Turner.
with, you know.
Yep, he's a very good guy, and I think they're interested in the bill.
Yeah, and I know his heart's in the right place. He, with his daughter. How do you say his daughter's name? You remember his daughter's name?
Kinsley.
Kinsley. I know his dad just got out of the hospital recently. Felicia cuts his mom Sharon's hair, so they're pretty close. But it's good to have advocates that's been there that know what it's like, and there's just so many needs in this state. And I know you'd reached out to me just last night about I-24. And we get a lot of complaints on I-24.
A lot of phone calls and emails about I-24, but help is on the way. Of course, TDOT has a limited budget, and they've got I don't know how many thousands of miles of roads that got messed up in the ice storm, and I-24 has been a mess for a long time. But you can't pave until the asphalt plants have asphalt available, which is in the spring, and you can't pave until the weather is consistent with the temperature. So it's coming soon. But we have people that are wanting to know why we can't pave it today or yesterday. And it's like if you spend all this money and pave the road and we have another ice storm, it's going to break again.
Did you get to tell Steve no that? Steve knows probably the one that always complains the most to me. Steve, he's listening right now.
But TDOT is going to start working tomorrow on repairing those lanes from Davidson County's line all the way out to Sam Ridley somewhere. And I think they're going to do 2 lanes at a time and work on milling and patching the really bad spots, which are treacherous. I've never seen roads that bad before, and it's dangerous, and I understand why people are frustrated, but help is on the way.
I know why the letter you worked on. It was the NES letter we put together.
We've also had quite a few complaints and calls about NES and why can't we get our power back on and so forth. And so with Mayor Cole, you and I wrote a letter to Nashville Electric Service and also Middle Tennessee Electric, and we proposed that instead of maintaining the status quo, let's look for some solutions. So if this happens again in the future, if our Laverne residents won't be hanging out to dry, while Nashville gets all the resources. And so the 2 potential solutions are, one, is to either give Laverne and these other communities that aren't in Nashville a seat on the board, or if they don't want to do that, just look and see if it's feasible to just transfer the customers from Nashville Electric over to Middle Tennessee Electric. Yeah,
I've been asking Chris Jones and their board to do that for 6 years over a simple street light. I talk about the disconnect in government. Want to get a little street light over there by the Right Road Ministries right there, and by the tunnel going under Old Nashville Highway, and just getting a simple street light. I asked to speak to the CEO. Couldn't get the CEO on the phone. I brought up his pay raise, back then it was a band, $75,000, and then they talking about government again. They gave me a guy's contact, Connor, and the guy I called the guy at Laverne. He says, Public Works. He said, Mike, I've been gone for 5 years. I mean, we're paying this CEO. Does anybody even know what she makes?
I had not looked into that.
No, this is what amazes me. You can't find out what the CEO of NES makes. I mean, maybe Connor can find out. Maybe Phil Williams can find out. But then somebody needs to report this. It's just sad. But that, to me, it's a blatant form of disconnect in government. The good thing about it, Democrats and Republicans are concerned. Bob Freeman was without power. Jason Powell's without power, and it's a big issue. And I appreciate you putting that together. And thank you for Jason Cole for voicing his opinion as well. I think we've got. Oh, I think we're about out of time, ain't we? Well, thank you, Judge Brittany Stevens, artist Adam Kane, Sane. Anyways, and Representative Robert Stevens, and folks, we'll catch up with you next week.
Thank you so much.